What's that scar gonna look like on your chest?
Oh, it's hot. Do you want to see it?
Do you want to do it?
Kinda.
Okay, if you'd like to share it. I don't mind watching it. I don't want to make you take your shirt off, though.
I'll just get cute.
Sure.
I'll get cute and quick.
Wow.
So
You can already see the bruising.
that's it, baby.
Wow.
Let me Hulkamania this bitch. Just a little bit.
Damn.
So I'd show you the hole, but it's a little obnoxious. But the hole is only about that big, only about that big by that big. It's still pretty cavernous and it tunnels and shit. But this is much, much, much improved from where it was. And
So that's all glue?
this was glue. Was glue. Now it's just scar tissue. So it's just soft. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just a scar.
Why did
It's a
they do
major
that?
fucking scar, man. It's
Oh,
no
it's
joke.
gnarly. They split you from stem to
You
stern.
are Iron Man.
I'll be whatever you need, babe. My name is the Boston Truckah. This is my platinum hour.
Oh God, what's going on? Where am I going? Dad?
Yes, my son. I am Deuce, the deer god.
I'm so confused. Who am I?
Derek. Your true name is Dercules. Dercules.
Wait, what?
Yes. You are Dercules, the god of the forest. Season 5.
Hosted by your favorite podcast host, Big Bochi. You already know the deal, mother. What's up? Whoa. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This is Conor, Holway of the Golden Hours podcast. And before we begin today, you can toss those on so you can hear me. Before we begin, listen, big news, man. Big GDP event, January 17th. I've been going crazy sales mode. Probably 40 or 50 calls a day. Landing tables left and right like a maniac. Landing sponsors. Landing partnerships, networking. That's me. I'm a different guy on the phone than I am on camera. Business. But hey, I'd love for you guys to come. We got like 10 tables left. It's going to be totally fresh. Big Fresh is actually mixing it. C-Mac is hopefully going to be here too.
I'll be there.
Nice. And hey, you and Honey, welcome to come.
Very good possibility.
And listen, dude, when you come, free booze. But you probably can't drink.
What are you, crazy? Of course I can fucking drink. What do you got?
Hey, you make your own decisions.
Did you bump your head?
Also, before we begin, ready?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Conor Holway of the Golden Hours podcast. And if you by chance get any sort of value from this episode, whether you laugh, cry, you're entertained, or you get some information, dude, just share it with a friend. And if you don't have any friends, you
Shouldn't be listening to podcasts.
definitely not. Definitely not. All right, who do we got in the building?
All right. This is C-Mac producing another episode. Happy New Year to all our listeners. And let's kick 2020's ass.
Love it. Young fountain of youth in the building.
Yeah.
And then on my right, we have a platinum hour today. And to be honest, man, our last episode, it was one of my favorites because, like, you're one of the most transparently honest dudes I know, and your story is, like, really dope. And so I know you've had some turns of events, and I'm happy you're back, man.
I'm happy to fucking be here, for Christ's sake. It's been, 2019 was about as crazy as a year could potentially be.
Before we move on, can you just explain who you are and what you do?
My name is Andrew, otherwise known as the Boston Truckah. I'm a truck driver by day and a pseudo internet celebrity by whatever.
Known for some of your content creation.
Exactly. So apparently, allegedly, I'm funny. I try to just tell things how they are as I see them, and I've been able to pick up some followers and whatnot from my authenticity and the fact that I'm as genuine as I am.
And one thing that totally stuck with me from the last episode was like, dude, I mean, you for real right now?
Nah, bro. It's just, she's an idiot. Anyway. What are you doing right now, Andrew?
One thing I picked up from the last episode was like, yo, you may have a persona and you're a great dude, but you are probably one of the most intelligent individuals I think we had on the show. And I mean that. It's the most sneaky smart dude you've ever met in your life. I don't know many other people that are as linguistically advanced as you.
I'm a 10th grade dropout, too.
I know.
So write that down,
fuck
kids.
Jesus.
Well, it's you know what? Sometimes I found my family on the city streets. So I've been very blessed that a lot of my mentors, like myself, come from nothing and nowhere, but they're very, very intelligent people. Oftentimes you can find that school is good for certain people, but not everybody. So I had a hard time in school because, well, a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, I couldn't keep my fucking hands to myself. Secondly...
Were your hands on other men or other women?
Please.
Just wondering.
I got a lot of kids. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the thing is I didn't intend to have all these kids. I just like to practice. So anyway,
Whoa.
Like I said, school is for some people, but not for others. One of my biggest mentors in life is actually a local guy. He's from Charlestown. Rob Lind is his name.
What does he do?
He is first and foremost a singer-songwriter. The tattoo on my hand, if you can see that, whatever, is from a band called Blood for Blood. And as I said, he spoke my language. I grew up kind of an outcast, outsider, an outlaw.
Where'd you grow up again? Was it Douglas?
Douglas.
Hanover or something?
Yeah, Hanover.
Hanover.
Of course it was. I was over there in Deluxeberry.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you guy?
Sudbury.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of property over in Weston, you meathead.
Whoa. Big money.
So, anyway, yeah, I came up between Brockton and Randolph. Yeah, nowhere near fucking Norwell and all those beautiful hockey players over there. God bless you. So, yeah, I came up, and hardcore was a huge part of my life, music. And Rob was like my hero, and he became like, a friend and a mentor, so to speak, and very, very, very intelligent man, and some of his theories and, stuff, it stuck, and when you surround yourself with people that read, not just because they're, in jail, but because they like to actually...
Because they're curious.
Exactly. Curiosity is huge. That thirst for knowledge, you know what I mean? And surrounding yourself with people that aren't meatheads, challenge yourself, just because somebody's aesthetically beautiful doesn't mean that they have much to offer. Mm-hmm. I remember you saying the word value. That's a pretty big word these days, value. What is value to you? Like Honey, for example. Not only is
For reference, Honey is Andrew's wifey.
Not only is she an absolutely drop-dead gorgeous woman, but the biggest way that I can describe her is that she's kind. And she's kind on a level that most people can't understand. She's 100% selfless. She puts everybody before herself. So not only does she take care of me, and taking care of me lately has been, essentially a full-time job because I've been good and fucked up. But she takes care of my kids. She does all the grocery shopping. She does all the cooking. This is not stuff that she's asked to do. These are the things that she does, And
How do you not take that for granted? Like, how do you balance that out?
Because I know what it's like to not have that. I've been in situations and relationships. I was married to Satan. I legitimately was, my ex-wife was born below. She was just a fundamentally bad person. 3 decent kids, they have their moments, But as far as a person is concerned, I will say this, that it's not her fault that she's as fucked up as she was. But
See, that's one thing I was talking about with Chris earlier, because we were talking about some of the people that we know and grew up with. Like, you got to be a little bit empathetic for people who aren't necessarily good people, because it's not always their fault, right?
That's right. Everybody's got a story. So developmentally, we are who we are at 5 years old.
Because of our parents, yeah.
What's part of it? Our environment.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that environment is. You need to be nurtured. You need to learn things like empathy. That's not stuff that's ingrained in you.
You don't think it's genetic?
I think part of it is, but I also think that people can, rise above, a poor gene pool.
For sure. So are you grateful for the parents you had growing up? Do you because I know you of all people, based on our story last time, is like you as a person have kind of evolved over time. Like once you reached adulthood is when you started to kind of pull things together for yourself.
30 was a big year for me.
How old are you now?
I just turned 39.
Okay.
So there has been many different versions of Andrew. Certainly many versions of Truckah, So at the end of the day, I'm very content with my upbringing.
What was it like?
I'm 10 years older than my sister. So it was basically a tale of two cities. I grew up one way, my sister grew up another way. So not to put anybody on blast, but some people in my family, extended family, had some substance abuse issues. There was a lot of mental health stuff that was part of it. I had my own struggles with mental health, and that's a whole different area that I'd be really willing to get into, is the fact that there is so much mental health issues in the Commonwealth. I don't really look at other places. There's enough issues around me and not enough people, help, services, etc. The Department of Mental Health, for example, it's a complete farce. They shut down all the state hospitals. So now all the homeless facilities and prisons are overrun with people that are essentially just sick. And that's sad. So my growing up, there was a lot of mental health stuff going on.
With you specifically, your parents, or?
All of the above. All of the above. I was a very angry youth.
As was I.
Why is he so angry? Why does he have toys that he just breaks?
You were hyper.
Fucking nuts.
I was the same way.
Yeah, bouncing off the walls. I could,
I could see why you hated school, too. You're just not wired for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So everybody wants you to assimilate in school. And here I am with a head full of ideas, and they're flying. And I can't harness this energy.
And you're also not being validated, because I feel the same way. I had the same shit going on with me, because, I was always smart, and I always had initiative, but I wasn't really being rewarded for it because it didn't mold,
Exactly.
You probably dealt with the same shit.
100%. I ended up in special ed over it because of behavioral issues and the fact that I couldn't just sit still.
Yeah,
so
I can imagine you were a force on teachers.
Yes. Yes. So when I would be in these programs, I'll tell a story in a minute. This is a fucking pisser. So harnessing this energy and then having, because most of the people that are in special ed have developmental issues. So I'm doing remedial math when I could probably be doing quantum fucking physics. Mm-hmm. And because I can't keep myself together because of what you're teaching me, and you can't grasp my attention, here we are doing, addition, subtraction for 2 years. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? So I'll never forget this. This is one of my favorite stories to tell. I was in, as I called it, the happy class at Randolph High School, which was basically in the basement away from everybody. And there were a couple of 4 or 5 guys in the class. There were 2 teachers. Me being me, I had decided that I was going to sit in the teacher's desk. It is what it is. And I had enough.
Just sit at the teacher's desk.
Like, he would sit in my fucking desk, and I was in his desk at the front of the class.
The happy class. I'm starting to get it. Okay.
This clown. So the whole system is set up on behavior mod. So if you do this, this, and this, you get a sticker. If you get this many stickers, it's like cash. You can go into this beautiful closet that had Snickers and Ho-Hos and Ding Dongs and Wing Nuts, and who gives a fuck? But I love candy. And most people that are hyper love fucking candy.
Love sugar.
And the other thing is most people that are diabetic, as you know, I'm type 2 diabetic, I cannot get enough fucking sugar and whatever.
You love it.
Live for it. So here I am at the front of the class, and this kid has to get up and go to the bathroom. And he goes to the bathroom, and he's sitting there. And you remember they had those little square windows in the corner of the classroom?
Yeah.
So he goes over there and he knocks on it and he gets my attention and he goes like this.
Oh, he's outside the door now. Yeah.
Exactly. This happens twice. He knocks for a third time.
How old are you right now?
14.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah. And I've been this size since about that age.
Yeah, the tough age.
Yeah. So I opened the door just as calmly as I speak to you now. I reached out and banged this kid out. He's in a mess on the ground. I went back and sat down. And the teacher, I'll never forget this, he walked over to me. He goes, "Do you know what this means?" And I said, "Yep, no candy for Andy."
I was going to say no more ho-hos.
Yeah, you fucking idiot. What did you think I was going to do? Not bang this kid out because you had a Snickers waiting for me? Stupid.
So, quick segue. So, last time we were in an episode was March or April. I'll have to check.
8 months.
Yeah, okay. And I remember when you were here, you were like, "Hey, dude, I gotta lose some fucking weight. I just feel like shit." Did you feel like some of the hard issues coming on then? Do you think, or?
Well, in hindsight, I've later found out that most of the stuff that was going on as far as the fatigue and feeling like a blimp was congestive heart failure. My heart was essentially drowning in fluids, so my legs were swollen and everything was all fucked up. So all the heart stuff came up because I wanted to have weight loss surgery. And the reason that I wanted to have weight loss surgery is that I wanted to, live the back nine of my life a lot more smooth and problem-free than the first nine.
What do they do with the weight loss surgery? Is it like a stomach staple type thing, or?
I mean, that's kind of a layman's terms. They don't generally staple stomachs. They don't do bypass surgeries often. They still do. Some people still choose to have a lap band, which is an adjustable band that essentially constricts, a portion of the stomach so that you only have this. The surgery that I'm looking to get is a vertical sleeve gastroenterectomy. And what that is they basically it's about the size of a toilet paper roll. And they put the sleeve over this and they remove 70% of the stomach. Sew it up. And the stomach is, a lot smaller.
No, where do they take that 70%? Where do they put that?
Hopefully in the landfill. I don't fucking know. Medical waste, maybe they eat it. I don't.
Yeah, so you're saying they'll cut out 70, then they'll just put it on a slab.
Gone.
Like, everyone look at Andy.
Exactly.
Fuck this day up.
Yeah, exactly. So most people think that the reason that they lose weight after losing 70% of their stomach is that there's no place for it to go. So your stomach is small, you can't eat that much. But the real ABCs of the procedure is the fact that it changes your metabolic
rate
up the way that you process things. All your hormones change, and as I said, you metabolize things completely differently. So yeah, it's very helpful that you have a shrunken stomach, so to speak. But the biggest reason that I want to do it, on top of not being a fat fuck forever, is it potentially will get rid of my diabetes.
When do they prove that?
It does that? They've been doing these studies forever, dude.
So there's definitely a correlation between the surgery.
No question.
So growing up with diabetes, did you know that this was an option?
I did not know that I was diabetic until I was 20.
How'd you find out? You have a seizure?
I wish. I'm fucked up. Yeah. Just to complete the trifecta. I've had seizures, but not from diabetes. I know you were telling me that your boy had seizures.
Yeah. Whoa.
And that was scary as fuck. Especially with you dick swinging fucking.
Yeah, I was butt ass naked.
Yeah. Nothing good ever happens with your prick in your hand. So anyway.
Except if you have some kids.
Correct. And then it's debatable. They're not always that good. I want to fight my 16-year-old as we speak. Never mind. He said to me the other day, he says, "I got to get a job, Dad." I said, "Yeah, that's good." He says, "I don't want to work weekends." Isn't that rich? He wants to. That's cute.
So he wants to work out to school Monday through Friday.
He wants to get his ass kicked. That's what he
Does he know how to edit video?
Probably.
Oh, if he doesn't, man, I'll hire him.
Don't start. He's not walking a fucking stumble. We live in the boonies.
Where are you, Douglas?
Why do you love
Dudley?
Douglas? Who's Douglas?
Or
Is
you
this an important person to you?
Well, yeah, I thought you were in like Luxembourg or something.
Yeah, Luxembourg.
Or-
I'm in fucking Germany.
No, Lunenburg.
You know mind. I'm in Bellingham.
Oh, Bellingham.
For fuck's sake, I'm next to Milford.
Oh,
I'm
God.
right off of 495.
You're an incest country.
No, it ain't that fucking bad. That's Route 2, bro.
I grew up on Route 2, surprisingly.
There you go. Yeah, the lower end.
Oh, the Leominster side.
Yeah. Did you really?
I grew up in Lincoln, right on.
Right.
Yeah.
That's.
Off Route 2.
I know where it is. It's nowhere near Leominster.
Oh, exactly.
They're different people out that way. The Twin Cities represent.
Whoa.
Exactly.
There. So yeah. So you were kind of feeling like shit. You were thinking about getting the surgery, and so can you just kind of elaborate on what happened the last like couple months with you?
This is fucking nuts. So
I mean, it's a roller coaster, so I'll give you the air to do it.
Here we go, buddy. So I knew that I wanted to have this surgery, and part of going through the surgery is you have to go and have a psych workup. You have to meet with nutritionists. You have to go to a certain amount of classes. You have to do a lot of different things because it's a huge commitment. You know, people think that they can go and get these procedures done, and it's not a big deal. It's a huge life-altering decision that you make. If you eat too much, your body will tell you, and you'll get rid of it. They call it dumping. It's not fun. I haven't obviously been through that, but having been in the program and know who's who and what's what, that's serious stuff. So I was going to all these meetings, and I had fulfilled all my obligations as far as they were concerned and had gotten a surgery date. The last thing that I needed to do in order to get the surgery was to have a cardiac workup. I had an MI, which was a heart attack 5 years ago. Okay, 6'6", 5 years ago, everything stopped. And I had 100% blockage in my coronary artery. I was 33 years old. Scared everyone. I had a stent put in. Everything was fine.
What do they think the cause of the heart attack was?
3 things. Diabetes, which is a bastard when it comes to vascular stuff.
Why your veins, your arteries are tighter, or
all of it.
It's harder to pass through nutrients.
Exactly.
More blockages. Okay.
Second, cigarettes. I was a heavy smoker for 25 years, 27 years, something. I smoked full time since I was 11.
Wow.
And when I started driving a truck, I brought smoking to a whole new level. I would just literally smoke. And the other thing that they said was my obesity, the fact that I was as heavy as I was. That always puts a strain on your heart. I've been as high as 300 pounds. I'm damn close to 300 pounds now. You know, I carry it well because all my weight is in my trunk. I still have muscular arms. I don't have fat boob, man titties or anything like that. But I'm
got the trampoline.
Exactly, dude. Big barrel in the middle.
So you have the heart attack 5 years ago, then what?
So as I was saying, I went and have to have this cardiac workup. And I have an echocardiogram, which is a filming. It's an ultrasound of the heart. And then I had a stress test. I did a nuclear stress test. They injected nuclear radioactive shit into me in order to stimulate the heart to show, what it does under a load. Long and short of the situation, I failed everything fucking miserably. We're working on this CHF, congestive heart failure. I'm having episodes. I can't breathe. I literally feel like I'm drowning in my own self. Scary, scary stuff. It happened twice. I'm not really going to get into what I was doing when it happened, but I finished, and it was a fucking problem. I couldn't breathe. Literally felt like I was drowning. So I go and I'm meeting with this cardiologist. We're going back and forth. And she says, we're going to do a cardiac catheterization. I'll send you to Mass General. This doctor, amazing doctor. I have a vicious man crush on this bitch. Dr. Sakuja at Mass General Hospital. And I go in, and we're doing this test. We're setting it all up. This guy is such a character. He's a hot rod. You know he's driving that big fucking Mercedes. He's doing it real big. And the last thing he says to me before I go under anesthesia is, "We shaved your balls for free." This is fucking perfect. Steak for 2 for 1. You know what I mean? Who doesn't like fresh balls?
2 birds, 1 stone.
You understand?
I get it.
You got it. So we go in.
Real quick, can you just elaborate on what a catheterization is?
It's an arthroscopic, something-scopic, fuckoscopic. They go in with a camera and they fish around your arteries and stuff, your vessels and stuff in your heart. And if there is blockages, I had many, motherfucking many. They can if they're not too bad, that's when they can install stents. So that was the goal, was to put some stents in, 1 stent, 2 stent, 3 stent, blue stent, and then fucking keep it moving.
What is a stent? It's like a...
It's a cage.
Oh, I thought a catheter was like a new tunnel from one artery to another to open up another passage.
So sorta.
Okay.
It's different in different applications. So my stent that I have now was in my coronary artery, the big motherfucker they call it,
The main one.
The Widowmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they put. Do you remember those Chinese finger traps?
Yeah.
It's very similar to that, where it goes in, and it takes up space. Excuse me. So it doesn't collapse, and it won't fuck up.
It's like an extra wall for the...
Exactly.
Okay, I get it. So there's less blockages, and there's more like a... It has like
free flowing.
I get it. Okay.
Makes it much easier for blood to move. So the goal of the cardiac catheterization was to go in there. If I needed a couple of stents, get it done. So that was a no-go. And the doctor, as soon as I came out of sedation, conscious sedation, which is the weirdest shit in the world. You're out, but you're not.
So you like remember everything?
Enough. I remember enough. I remember I didn't fucking like it.
That's really weird.
Conscious sedation. So it's very common. They do that shit for brain surgery.
Big pass.
Big pass. So if I'm ever offered conscious sedation again, suck it.
Just fuck me up, man.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
That's why I just had an appointment with an orthodontist because I got my wisdom teeth pulled. And they're like, "Would you like to stay awake for it?" I was like, "Fuck no."
I was awake.
Like, fuck me up.
I just literally, maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago had my wisdom teeth taken out. And my fucking dentist had his knees on my chest. No fucking mask, boogers and shit. It was horrible. I'm not going to see that motherfucker again. Knees on my chest. Can you feel this? Oh, I don't fucking know. Ass fuck.
Okay.
He's in Bellingham. Avoid that prick at all costs. There aren't too many dentists out that way. So
his
buy
sister's his
everywhere.
wife and his receptionist.
All of it. It's not that fucking bad out there, dickhead. He's talking about like fucking Athol and Air, like the gateway to the lost towns. We have cable.
Those are bordering towns. You got a cow in your yard?
Fuck no. I mean, I got a cow next door, but she's a nice lady.
Okay.
Just play.
All right, so you get the stent.
No stent.
No stent. Your doc says what?
Sakuja says we got to go in there. It's time for bypass surgery.
He was like, what you got going on is fucked up.
You got a 70% in this, a fucking 90% in that. You're I don't know how you're the fuck upright. You're a mess.
So he's saying like you have major arteries that are crazy blocked.
He literally looks at me and says, "I cannot believe you're upright and taking nourishment."
And so we're at this time.
I had not had a second heart attack.
But were you feeling like low energy or
Awful. Crazy fatigued. I was, still working, and everything was such a task. Even just, I was exhausted. My son was on school vacation. I made him come with me to work to help me because I was just that fucked up.
Like you were muscularly tired, or you were like just out of breath?
Breath, yeah. I could not breathe.
That's what a lot of people say.
I could not catch my breath.
Like you'd get winded going up the stairs?
Big time. And
so at the time, were you thinking like maybe I'm just like totally out of shape? I don't really have heart issues, or
it's part of it. I think in my subconscious, I was very aware of how much damage was in my heart. And when you have major health issues, you try to not have them. You know, you can somehow psych yourself into not having these issues. If I pretend I'm not diabetic, maybe I'm not diabetic, you know? But if this is what I think it is, I would say to Honey all the time, I would, you know, just jokingly, quadruple bypass, quadruple bypass, quadruple bypass, which in essence is the most invasive procedure that you could ever have. I shouldn't say that. A heart transplant is the one thing that is more invasive.
Or a brain transplant.
Whatever. Organ transplants are fucking huge. That's crazy stuff.
I know someone else who had a quadruple bypass, and they say the same thing. It's just
At
like
38?
no, at like 65.
See? Yeah, I'm a real fucking trendsetter.
So what do you think when Yakuza says, "Yo, dude, we have to do a quadruple bypass"?
Sakuja, but
Shakuza.
yeah. Well, come on, man. All right, Apple, get it together. Sakuja.
Sakuza.
Anyway, I'll do the name drops.
Dr. Yakuza, what's he say?
He did it again. And now you're an asshole. So he said to me, listen, this is the story. You could take your chances, roll the dice. You could drop dead in a week. You could live your entire fucking life without having any of these issues. I am not a gambler. When it comes to dice and shit, I leave my odds in my favor, thank you very much. And he said to me that this is what we need to do. I'm going to set you up with Dr. Jassar, who is one of the best cardiothoracic surgeons on the fucking planet, and we're going to do a quadruple bypass surgery. They wouldn't even let me go home between the catheterization and the bypass. They were that fearful of my heart essentially exploding. I had taxed myself, my vessels, my arteries to the max.
So how instantaneous was the surgery from when he said, "Yo," from that first analysis?
6 days.
Oh, so they were like, "Yo, we got to work on you now, dude. You're about to fucking croak."
Essentially.
And so what's going through your mind? Are you like, "Yo, are you scared as fuck?" Or?
Scared as fuck. I mean, we live in an information era, so there's a ton of information that's available to everybody that wants it.
Yeah, you didn't go on WebMD, did you?
Dude, fuck it, WebMD. I went on YouTube.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the things that they do in a bypass surgery, a cabbage surgery, they drop your body temperature to, what's the fuck?
I know your body temperature is like 90 degrees.
Cold. What's the word for people when their body temperature drops?
I got no clue. C-Mac, do you know?
Freezing.
You're an asshole. So anyway, hypothermic.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, they drop your temperature down to somewhere in the 70s or whatever. They put you on advanced life support. So your body is not working. There are machines that are living for you.
Why do they do that?
Because they need to stop the heart. They need to stop the heart to work on the heart. So what they do, this is the craziest shit in the world. So there was a marked moment in time where I had done all the research that I needed to do. I was about as scared as a man could possibly be. I had my girl, my kids, my family, everybody was around me. And it was time for surgery. And there was a moment, which was actually documented on my page, where you can literally look at my face and it's sheer terror. I said goodbye to my children, not knowing if I'd ever see them again. So they take your heart, they repair it. It stopped, not beating. There is a moment between the end of the surgery and when they're done where they have to shock your heart to get it back into rhythm.
Just to see if it works.
Just to get it moving.
So
because
that's
it stopped. They've opened your sternum, which has created another set of issues for me because everything's a fucking issue for me. So my sternum is wide open. My arms are like this, which caused all kinds of nerve damage because I'm a big guy, barrel-chested, big dude. And my surgery was 7 hours. 7 hours that doctor was in there manipulating my heart taking veins and vessels out of my legs and my chest. It is incredible what medicine is and what they have the ability to do.
So before you go under, so what is your last thought? Like, you're like, are you thinking like, I might not wake up? Is that like going through your head, or?
I'm going to keep it together.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
No, this is important stuff. I was very much at peace. In my 38 years, I have lived a very good and productive life. I have made some tremendous mistakes. I have hurt myself. I have hurt people. I have done bad things. But I'm at peace with where I'm at. The biggest thing to me was the fact that I knew that Honey would take care of my babies. And after that, I did my time. If this was it, I was okay with it. Am I happy to be here? 100%. But I was very much at peace with not being here.
So, in the moment, is there like some sort of like divine intervention? Like, do you think about God in the moment? Are you like...
I'm not really a religious guy. I'm very spiritual, though. So I believe in a higher power. I don't know if my higher power is your higher power. I don't know if it's anything other than something that I've conjured up in my head. But I definitely believe that there is a stronger being, a higher power that kind of leads us and guides us along the way. So,
so like in that moment, did you feel like someone's got my back right now?
I just took a deep breath as the anesthesia was, flowing through my veins. I took it in and I let it out, and I was okay. And the warmness and you could feel yourself just kind of drifting away. I had a very, very fucking weird thing happen to me coming out of anesthesia. They say, coming out is a bitch, because you've essentially been, that kind of sedation is extremely close to death, So when I came out, I had all kinds of like psychological shit that was going on in my head. I thought I was talking to doctors and they weren't hearing me. And it was the most frightening thing that I have ever experienced in my life. So I'm sedated, but I think I'm awake. And I'm trying to talk to people that aren't there and basically say to them, I'm here. And then it would go black. And I would say to myself, I'm fucking dead. This is it. I consciously remember this. It was probably, not even probably, it was 100% the most frightening thing I ever went through in my entire life.
Is it kind of like that feeling like when you're trying to wake up from a dream but you can't? But
Exactly.
But now it's like much more physical because you don't really feel your body type thing.
Exactly.
It's probably so scary, dude. And are you at this moment, are you conscious that you just went under and like you're waking up from the surgery?
Exactly.
Whoa.
So I know where I'm at and what's going on, but nobody is responding to me. So it's as if they're there looking at me and I'm not okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and I'm in the mindset that we have a fucking problem here. I'm trying to get hello, I'm okay, and they're nothing.
When you go under, so you're conscious of like how fucked up the surgery is and how risky it is, and like you're looking at your kids. What are your thoughts about death before you go into the surgery? Like, what did you think about it, and afterwards? Has like your thought changed about it at all?
I've had a couple of near-death experiences, so I've played this game before. My view of death is more along the lines of the fact that it's inevitable. There's nothing that anybody can do to make their clock run longer. If it's your time, he's coming. So I don't worry about death like that. I try to be a good person every day and be kind and do the right thing and let that kind of stuff sort itself out.
What do you think happens when you die? You think it just lights out?
I don't fucking know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
I got no.
I hope not. I hope not. But there's too. Science is science. You know what I mean? So your spirituality and religion and all that stuff, that's great. But in all reality, what do I think happens? I think it's over.
Yeah, it just lights out.
That's it, baby.
And when you're going into the surgery, are you thinking about that? Like, I might just be lights out.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm trying desperately to be positive. I'm trying to, this is what these people do. I'm in the best hospital in the world, one of them, and
Definitely the best. Mass General's the shit.
it's a tremendous facility. Cleveland Clinic. There's John Hopkins. There are some really amazing hospitals in this country. But as far as Mass General is concerned, they can hold their jock against anybody, and just my level of care there, fucking second to none. I mean, I was a psychopath as far as wanting to get out of there. Nobody wants to be in a hospital. I couldn't sleep. It was obnoxious. So when it was time for me to go, I was letting people know that my stay here was over.
So you were confident going into it. You said, well, if I'm going to have a surgery anywhere, I'm glad it's here. And there's no thought in your mind like, yo, this might be the end of my story.
I was okay with it. I'm still okay with it. I view death a lot differently than most.
How do you think most people view it?
Petrified. 100% petrified, because it's an unknown. That's what anxiety is, fear of the unknown. You don't fucking know. And nobody can come back to tell you what the hell just happened. So there's no science. There is no theories. Nobody knows what happens when the lights go out. Nobody knows what happens when your heart stops, when your brain stops, when your kidneys fail. There's nobody that
no one knows what happens in your brain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's the important stuff, your emotions, your heart. Not your literal heart, but how you feel. Mm-hmm. What happens when your clock expires? I don't know. I've had I guess clinically been dead a few times.
Well, I think what just happened to you is probably as close as you can get.
No question. And the biggest thing that has happened to me, aside from all the setbacks and shit, is the fact that I'm extremely emotional. Extremely emotional. So on the day that I was released from Mass General, my honey's father, Dave, who is legitimately one of my favorite people in the entire fucking planet. He is the shit. So he comes to the hospital to get me, and we're going over all the wound care stuff and how to take care of this, that, and the other thing. And they wheel me out. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining, and he had to go to the parking garage to get the car to come around to get me. And there was a moment in time where I sat there, and I was just taking in the sun and the fucking birds and all of it. And I was so overwhelmed. I was literally sitting there and the tears are just pouring out of me. I was just so grateful. I was so grateful to be alive. I was so grateful to be there. I was so grateful for Dave. I was just abundantly grateful.
Grateful for things you weren't beforehand.
Exactly. Yesterday, with watching The Lion King with my family, I'm literally 2 minutes into this movie, and I'm bawling my fucking eyes out.
Well, that's a tough
the two
movie.
lions rub up against each other. I'm fucking, this is it.
It's over.
It's over. It's a wrap. Everyone's laughing at me. It's, my kids are laughing at me. My girl's pointing at me, and there I am, literally ugly crying over the fucking Lion King.
It's a great movie.
It's fucking amazing, dude. When his father talks to him from the sky, and oh my God, I don't want to get fucked up again, but boy, Mufasa, Simba, those are my dogs, bro. That's my people.
So for other people who might encounter another near death or a near death in their life, or they're like going to go into a similar surgery, like what are some things that you would say to be prepared for mentally?
I don't think you can prepare for that. You can try to. My father had a quadruple bypass as well. He wanted no part of knowing what the hell was going to go on. He knew he had to be at the hospital at 5 o'clock in the morning. He knew the surgery was at 6, and he knew that he would be done sometime around 3 or 4. That's all he knew, So I looked at it a little bit differently. I wanted to know who was who and what was what. I looked up my doctor. I looked up where he went to school. I know about his kids if I have to smash them. I'm just kidding. But I'm different. So I don't think there's a way to prepare for something so great, you know, in the grand scheme of things.
So grand, yeah.
Just bigger than everything. Everything stopped that day. Everybody was there. Everybody was there. Thousands of people anticipated, you know, the news of what had happened.
I remember seeing Honey doing updates. I was fucking
huge.
scared, man. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This quadruple bypass is no joke.
Not a joke, dude. And so I'm lucky that I have, not only do I have a wonderful, you know, friends, family, and everything that I have, but I have tens of thousands of people that care about my well-being.
Mm-hmm.
I get messages constantly. The only reason that I'm not homeless right now is the GoFundMe that was set up on my behalf.
I was going to say that, yeah. It reached the
Huge.
goal, too.
God, and it was quick.
How much was the surgery?
I have no idea. I would venture a guess to say between the cardiac catheterization, the quadruple bypass, and all the testing and whatnot that went in when I went back to the hospital when I was septic and almost fucking died. That was cute. I would say I'm probably in the $500,000 range.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a hotel that costs a lot of money to stay at.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So did insurance cover most of it?
All of it. All of it.
That's huge.
All of it.
Let's go.
No bills. Yeah. So I don't have the ability to earn, and I worked for a small company. I have, you know, the GoFundMe was basically for me to live. You know, my day-to-day expenses.
7,500. Yeah.
77. They went over and above.
Oh, just because you can't work, you got no income coming in.
Exactly.
See, I think when a lot of people hear about these drastic surgeries, they don't even think about the aftermath.
Nobody thinks about the who's who and what's what.
Yeah.
And what happens when the dust actually settles. When I'm sitting at home with a hole in my fucking chest that's still there, very much so, with nurses coming in every day to pack my wounds, and I learned how to do these things. I take care of myself now, you know.
So when was surgery? Was October?
October 16th.
And so we're like...
About 9 weeks.
Nice. And so is the recovery a day-by-day still, or is it more a week-by-week basis now?
I had a lot of nerve damage from the surgery.
Where?
My arms were affected.
Couldn't feel them?
Nothing. Still pins and needles in my final 3 fingers of this hand. I have the whole top of this arm is numb. It's a very weird feeling.
I have it on the top of my foot. Same shit.
Neuropathy is basically the biggest way to, you know, for a layman that doesn't understand nerves. My nerves will repair, but it is a very slow process.
Yeah, and I can speak to it too. I was climbing up a dock once, and I picked my foot up and I dragged like a rusty nail through the top of my foot, and so I can't feel the top of my foot. And what it feels like is like if you were to lay on your arm for a long time and your arm's dead, it feels like that permanently in one spot. That's kind of how you feel, right?
100%. That's a very good way of looking at it.
And
it blows.
So you come home from the hospital. Well, no, so you wake up in the hospital and you're like, fuck, I'm fine. What is it?
I'm here. Well, as I told you, my waking up process was brutal. And you're in a level of pain that one is not designed to be able to withstand.
You're hurting?
Oh, my fucking God. My chest, my legs, my everything. I was a fucking mess. And Honey wasn't there. And I was fucking mad. So I'm a very, I'm not the easiest guy to deal with all the time. And when I want something, I fucking want it. And I woke up and she wasn't there. I wanted her now. And I was kind of an asshole, so...
The nurses?
Oof. Anybody I could get that was in shouting distance.
I'm sure they're understanding, though.
Very much. I told you my level of care over there was second to none. from every single nurse, PA, physician, surgeon, everybody. Top of just amazing.
So, is there a moment where you're like, whoa, I'm okay. The surgery's dying down. I'm on like a lot of pain meds and shit, but like, I made it.
Oh, yeah.
When does that happen?
It's different for everybody. I mean, sedation, being knocked out like that can take a day, 2 days to just get out of your system. So, but yeah, there's definitely a marked moment where you're like, okay, I made it. And then the fucking struggle to, for you to, mend is the tough part. Surgery's easy. It's the recovery process that's a bitch. You look at the, behind you, and there's a facade of IV machines.
I'm
It
sure
literally
they're
looks
pumping
like
you tons of shit.
It looks like a billboard. There are so many lights and leads and oxygen, this, and it's wild, dude.
It's pretty wild how advanced medicine can get, where they can literally just pretty much clinically kill somebody to work on them, then bring them back to life. Because that's essentially what the quadruple bypass is.
That's it, baby. Goodbye, hello.
Dude, you're bionicle now, man. You're Iron Man.
I'm fucking something.
You should get the Iron Man patch.
You know what the pisser is? I feel better now, today, than I've felt in 15 years. I'm like dangerous strong right now.
Why do you think that is?
It's a physical thing. My
It's got to be mental.
No. My injection refraction rate, which is how the blood pumps out of your heart, was at 33%. You run around 50. Normal human beings that don't have cardiac issues. 33%, okay? So I'm at that much of a disadvantage that the heart is not pumping it out, and it makes you weak, it makes you lethargic,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Your motor's
So
fucked.
here's the fuck up pisser. So after surgery, it dropped down to like 23%. They were like, oh boy. And then they were like, we're going to have to put a pacemaker in. We're going to have to, put a defibrillator in. All this shit. And then, by the grace of God, or whomever the fuck is in charge of this ship, said, we're going to bump this bitch right up to 44%.
just out of nowhere.
For funsies.
Let's go.
For fucking funsies.
And you were like, let's go.
I was immediately like, let's go. I wanted to fucking run through shit. Walls.
You had a Woody.
It was fucking harder than Chinese algebra. I was ready to fucking rock and roll. And now I'm even higher. I'm damn close to 50.
Let's go.
I can walk. I can run. I can. Let's relax. I don't know how much running I can.
Let's wrestle.
Once the sternum is 100% ready, I think I could fuck you over.
You probably could. No bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, so you're now in recovery. I'm sure it's like a week where people are just in and out. Andrew, hope you're okay. They're bringing you stuff.
Yep.
I'm sure. What are those things called? Like fucking edible arrangements. A couple of those come in.
No.
That's some BS.
Yeah.
You were pissed.
I'm over it.
Okay, whatever.
Dude, I got $7,700.
Yeah, I was gonna say the 7,700 is nice. We'll take that.
Yeah. If I want to buy an edible arrangement, I'll make it happen.
All right, so that's going on. Then, how long until you go home? A week?
I was in the hospital for another 6 days.
Okay, and so you go back to incest country, and you have care at your house at this point, or
Yeah, me.
just you?
And honey.
I thought you said you had nurses and not the house.
They come in 3 times a week, every other day.
And so what is your day to day like at this time?
Now or then,
First like 3 weeks,
my recliner,
just sitting.
sitting,
Oh, that was probably the worst part.
brutal.
Just like sitting there agony, can't do
Oh.
anything.
I still can't do anything.
You drove here,
I have the ability to drive,
and you can walk.
and that's recent. I've only been able to drive for 2-3 weeks.
See, that's some shit when you say stuff like that.
You have no idea.
I know, it just like makes me so grateful. Like you don't even realize. Like imagine if when we leave here, I couldn't go walk to my car and just put shit in. Like you don't even realize some people have to deal with that shit.
I can't lift anything heavier than a gallon of milk right now. I have a 7 millimeter gap between my sternum.
How many stitches?
No stitches.
Staples?
No staples.
How'd they do it?
Glue. Glue.
Yuck. They cut through your rib
It's
cage.
fucking hot, dude, with a big bone saw. Yeah, dude.
And so how do they glue? So what is the glue? Like super gorilla glue?
That's what super glue is. It's medical. That's the Army developed it to mend cuts.
And then it dissolves.
Eventually.
So it's still there.
So there's a wire cage. They cage your fucking ribs and sternum together, right? And then they stitch all that shit together
And
with
then,
what looks like fucking baling wire, right? Because now I have a hole in my chest. I can
Move the mic real quick.
I can see all the shit that's going on in my chest. Physically see it. It's the weirdest thing in the world. So not only, and the reason I have the hole in my chest is that the doctor was pressing on my chest in recovery and was able to get a little bit of secretion out of there, and he didn't want to have an abscess develop. So he opened me the fuck up. And then...
Oh, he fucked up.
Well, he didn't fuck up. I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
So my stupid diabetic ass doesn't heal. Unless, my sugars are, like, on point. And even then, it's a battle. It's such a pain in the ass, dude.
C-Mac, sorry, you've been quiet.
No, you're good. I'm loving this.
Anything?
I guess.
Take your fucking pants off and tell us.
Yeah. What's next? I mean, you said that you have a big doctor's appointment coming up. What are plans
January
for
16th.
the near future?
I'm going back to see Aladdin. I shouldn't say that, probably.
This is Yakuza?
No, this is just... This is my... he's an amazing man. Terrific surgeon.
Yeah.
But the fucking turban fucks me up. Every time I look at this player, I'm like, this is motherfucking Aladdin. Part of it is the fact that I'm 7.
He also saved your life.
Saved my life. He gave me a whole fucking new
life. Let's go.
Yeah. I got another 40 years, you fucks. So look out. And the next time that I ever have to have this done, they'll be able to do it from across the street. Don't worry about me. I'm about ready to walk on water, eat bullets, and shit ice cream.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Wait.
So the 16th, I'm hoping that Aladdin says to me, Daddy, it's time to go back to work now. And I'll be back in the seat doing what it is that I do. Driving truck, making videos, and fucking shit up.
Well, real quick, before we segue to that point, what happened with your septic? So, like, because I've heard of someone go septic before. And what I'm familiar with is, like, when someone goes septic, it'd be like a war veteran have a cut that was, like, never healed, and then would get, like, gangrene and nasty and, like, wildly infected.
Well, it's sepsis starts from infection.
It's a leak.
Not all the time.
All right, Dr. Boche, my fault.
Yeah. Excuse me. So the long and short of it is sepsis is an infection in your blood. Your blood is effectively infected.
Cool.
Oh, it's mint.
Sounds awesome.
So Thanksgiving, I wake up in the middle of the night. My chest is screaming, okay? And my shoulder is a fucking mess. It won't move. Something's wrong.
You think you're having a heart attack?
I didn't think I was having a heart attack. I thought I was dying. I thought that potentially the heart attack would be the fun part. I was in that much pain. I go to the local hospital. Don't fucking do that. When you have the access to the Mass General Hospital, stop fucking around with these backyard sewer rat eating motherfuckers that told me that I needed to have my fucking gallbladder removed.
The hospital is next to a couple silos next to the farm.
Yes, and
the local medicine man.
Nothing says loving like fucking a cousin. It's ridiculous shit going. Never mind. So they had me there for about 12, I don't know, maybe 10 hours, and without the ability to tell me what the fuck the problem was. But they were giving me pain medicine, so I'm in this parallel universe. Everything's okay at this point.
What are you taking?
Dilaudid.
I don't even know what that is. Is it an opioid?
Yummy ding. That's what the fuck it is. It's
Gets you
it's
fucked.
Ramalama ding dong shit.
What, you feeling good?
Good, yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. I don't like fucking drugs.
I was going to say,
we
talked about that last time.
I don't like any part of this shit, but I'm in that kind of pain where I'm like, let's fucking go.
Fuck me up.
Yeah, fuck me the fuck up twice. When you're done fucking me up, fuck me up again. Which is completely against all my character. So,
well, I was going to say that because we had talked last time about me and you both, like, kind of wanting to be or being substance free and straight edge, were you a little nervous about taking opioids post surgery because you're like, yo, these things are addictive as hell?
Mind over matter.
Didn't matter.
I'm bigger than all of it.
Okay.
I'm not going to allow something like that to fucks me up. So anyway, I'm at the local hospital, and the only thing that they did there that was worth a fuck was give me or take a blood culture. And basically what a blood culture is that they try to grow bacteria with your blood. That's how they found out that I had this infection, that I was septic. They did the blood culture and sent me to Mass General. I'm in the emergency room at Mass General. This is Thanksgiving. Honey's with me. It was a fucking nightmare. My kids are at the house. Nobody went anywhere. It fucking blew, right? I completely grenaded the holiday. So I'm at Mass General. I'm sitting there, and they finally say to me, "You have an infection in your blood." This was fucking mint.
Here's another one.
Exactly, and another one. Lil Kim, the quitting everything. So anyway, they send me up to the ICU. I'm like, this is fucking great.
Deja vu.
Deja fucking vu. It was like I never left. Now I'm salty. I'm the wrong motherfucker to be salty.
But Honey's there, so you're not that pissed.
I'm wicked pissed, dude.
Okay.
She had just left. I'm in the ICU. Okay, and these two fucking clowns come in, these from orthopedics, to look at my shoulder. Look at my shoulder. He's explaining to me how he wants to go in with a needle and aspirate my shoulder to see if there's any pus or fluid in there. And I said to this gentleman, "When do you plan on doing this?" And he said, 5 minutes. And I said to myself, oh boy. So here I am in the ICU, and I know this guy's going into my fucking shoulder. I know they're not putting me out. There's no local anesthetic. No, nothing cane, okay? And this bastard goes into my shoulder, and he's fucking around what seems like for an eternity, unable to aspirate motherfucking anything because the infection was in my chest, you fuck. And then here I am. As soon as he pulled it out, I swung at him. I missed. Thank you. But I wanted to fuck his whole world up. I swung hard.
What did he do?
I'm a big guy.
He was terrified.
Terrified? He took him and his fucking chum, and they screwed. They were out.
Yeah, because we got some lunatics swinging at us, and I'm trying to help him.
You don't understand how common it is for people in the medical industry to get hit. I obviously had developed some rapport with a lot of these nurses. I love them all. They're all wonderful. And Honey's in school right now full time to become a nurse.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
It's fate.
I'm saying. So these people get fucking wrecked all the time.
They get bodied.
People just smash them.
Dude, I know. I had a shoulder surgery, and they were like, "Are you the violent type?" I was like, "No." They were like, "Well, you're."
I am.
Exactly. Well, for me, I was just like, to be honest, I like left surgery, and I was like mad horny, and so I was like hitting on all the nurses and shit. Bro. But they strapped my arms down after because they were like, "Yo, you can't be fucking around."
That's wild.
I tell people that I'm violent. We're not playing this game anymore. You know, when it comes.
So you missed him.
Thank God. Just a great. I was close to it.
And so
I know he felt the breeze.
did they bring you back to MGH?
Oh yeah.
And they
Yeah.
said you're septic. How do they deal with that?
CDC. I'm going to try to get this out. Municipal Disease Control. People that deal with big diseases. That was the department that handled me. I was in the cardiac unit because of my sternum and shit, and the fact that I was post-op from bypass. But it was the disease control folks that were handling my shit.
Whoa.
I left on a PICC line, which is a catheter that goes from my arm. It went from my arm into my heart. I went home giving myself injections.
So that's all cleared up now, though, right? Was it like 3 weeks?
Yep. Yeah, I was in the hospital for another 7 days, and at this point,
You're just pissed.
pissed isn't the word. So luckily, I was right across from where the food was and shit. They had like the fridge there with the apple juice and shit in it, and the Italian ice, huh? and my diabetic ass was going fucking ham. Honey brought me like extra insulin so I could combat what the fuck I was doing to myself. I was so salty, dude. I took my heart monitor off myself, right? And the nurse comes in and she goes, "Aren't you supposed to be on a monitor?" I said, "Doc said I'm done." She's pulling the fucking leads off. It's 4 days. I'm sitting there just running around all willy-nilly with no fucking heart monitor. Like
House and the Italian ice.
Smashing it.
Doing your thing.
I had crushed ice and apple juice, which is heroin to me. That was my grandmother's thing growing up. So the fact that I can get this crushed ice with the apple juice.
You remember bombs with the apple juices?
Oh, yeah.
That was the diabetic roommate.
Yeah.
Love the apple juice.
What else
Love
do you have?
apple
Fruit snacks, maybe?
It's good, dude. Apple
Welch's,
juice.
like you hit the Welch's?
Yeah, I don't care.
Granola bar.
I don't give a fuck. I'll eat anything. I'd literally eat the stink off of shit. I'm not the right.
Well, so question. All this is cleared up. It's really hard for people to change their habits, but are you going to like clean up your fucking diet, exercise? Like, what's the plan?
You have no idea how hard it is to actually clean up.
It's hard as fuck, I know.
We as a society just don't take care of ourselves. You hear about people saying eating clean. It is the most difficult thing, and as far as a commitment to actually doing it, it's probably the most difficult thing that any of us can do. So my end goal at the end of all of this still remains to go through with the weight loss surgery, which will literally be like parking a car compared to where the fuck I've been. You know, a little bitch-ass orthoscopic surgery, a couple of pinholes in my abdomen. I'm like, let's fucking do it now. I mean, I feel like I
can't believe you'd want to do another surgery.
I don't. If you for 1 second in your life could understand what diabetes is and how much it exacerbates everything, if you had even a punter's chance in eradicating that disease from your life, you would do whatever it took. You would eat jelly donuts out of a homeless man's ass to not be diabetic. It's that bad. It's evil.
Well, so right now, and I'm not trying to sound like Mr. Preachy here, but I do eat pretty clean, and I know it's hard. Don't you think it would just be a matter of habit? Like, you would just have to get rolling for like a month and a half. Like, yo, this is going to fucking suck. But then once I'm in a rhythm.
First of all, I don't cook. Okay, so I eat what's given to me. You know, do I eat like a slob? No. You know, we eat very well, but there are certain things that I'm not willing to get rid of. You know,
like
potatoes.
That's not terrible, if it's whole.
If you're diabetic,
yeah, I guess that carb blast, it's the sugar blast.
It's sugar. You know, you take a half a cup of beautiful mashed potatoes, and you fill your hands with 2 handfuls of sugar. That's what you're ingesting.
And you're looking at the mashed potatoes. You're like, you're about to be in my stomach. What's up, dog?
Forever, yeah. I love potatoes, and Honey is an amazing cook. Oh my God! If you can think it, she can cook it. That's bad.
Let's go. I want to come to Incest Country for a meal.
Dude, you're always
invite Farmer Joe.
Fuck, let's go.
So, what about exercise though? Again, I'm not trying to be Dr. Phil.
No. I've just recently been cleared for activity, so I can do cardio stuff. The heart's not the issue. It's this fucking chest of mine that's fucking rubbing together and clicking. Mm-hmm. It's weird. You haven't lived until you rolled over and heard your breastplates go.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
It's gross. It's gross.
But so, like, are your doctors like, hey, yo, you now?
You can't. I can't lift weight. Nothing over my head.
I mean, once you're full strength.
Dude, I'm going to rip it the fuck up. You're not going to see this fat fuck for long. As soon as I have the ability to move and shake, I'm going to do just that. The biggest thing that I want to do is I want the rest of my life to be better than how it was. Prior to surgery, prior to this, bad marriage and this all aside, moving forward, I'm going to do it all again with Honey. We're going to take it to the fucking hoop. I'm going to get
it's
married
like
again.
It's like the halfway point.
It's exactly how I feel. I'm almost 40, and I want my next 40 to be banging.
Let's go.
Exactly. So I know how to not do it. I know how to do it poorly. I know how to really fuck things up. I have no interest in doing that shit anymore. So Honey and I, as cliche as it sounds, we're the co-captains of Team No Fucking Around. I want to take over the world with this woman. I really do.
So what are you gonna do? What do you want to do in terms of content creation now? Anything different, or
I'm gonna go right back to the seat, right back where I was,
and start pumping?
just smashing videos. I have so much content in my head right now. I literally feel like I need to fucking purge.
You're the content machine.
I have hundreds of videos. I look back at my archives and I'm like, where the fuck did all this come from? Thin air.
I know.
That's what I do. I pull it the fuck in. I have an idea and I say, okay, no script, no nothing. Let's go. Play. Let's go. Record. It's time. Does this suck? Maybe. You're going to get it in its entirety. Unless I trip over my words in the first 10 seconds, I'm going with it.
You're ripping it.
Ripping it.
So, had you thought about, and not to discredit your boss, but like, had you thought about a career change after that? Because I know
100%.
Because trucking's kind of sedentary. I'm assuming you might want to be like moving more.
It's a very difficult thing. So I'm limited for a variety of different reasons. I'm limited because I'm a felon. You're welcome.
Hey, it's okay.
I'm over it. I don't give a fuck.
Well, hey, I still love you, dog.
I'm not going to smash your face. So I'm a felon. I have a 10th grade education. So as articulate and smart as I may or may not be, people don't give a fuck.
It doesn't matter as much anymore, though, as you know.
I have a fucking tattoo on my throat.
And on your knuckles. What is it? What do the knuckles say again?
Hard luck.
That's pretty fitting.
Yeah. It wasn't an accident. Yeah, it's pretty much my thing. As I've told you before, it could be raining tits and I get hit with a dick.
What's that scar going to look like on your chest?
Oh, it's hot. Do you want to see it?
Do you want to do it?
Kinda.
Okay, if you'd like to share it. I don't mind watching it. I don't want to make you take your shirt off, though.
I'll just get cute.
Sure.
I'll get cute and quick.
Wow.
So
You can already see the bruising.
that's it, baby.
Wow.
Let me Hulkamania this bitch. Just a little bit.
Damn.
So I'd show you the hole, but it's a little obnoxious. But the hole is only about that big, only about that big by that big. It's still pretty cavernous and it tunnels and shit. But this is much, much, much improved from where it was. And
So that's all glue?
this was glue. Was glue. Now it's just scar tissue. So it's just soft. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just a scar.
Why did
It's a
they do
major
that?
fucking scar, man. It's
Oh,
no
it's
joke.
gnarly. They split you from stem to
You
stern.
are Iron Man.
I'll be whatever you need, babe. So, wow, now I feel a little
And wait, what's the thing on the arm?
Which one? Oh, that's my Libre.
Oh, your Libre.
My Libre keeps a constant monitoring of my glucose.
Oh, that's a diabetes thing.
Exactly.
Cool.
I was one of the first people in this state to be blessed with that technology.
Wow.
Which was very cool. I'm going to stand up and not kick shit over.
No worries. You're good. With the Apple Watch. That's a major league scar, man.
Yeah.
What
How often do you have
think,
to?
C-Mac?
I mean, it's crazy. I don't
About
know.
as gnarly as they get.
How often do you have to like switch up the patching on that? Is that
So the wicking and packing is swapped out 3 times a day.
Okay.
I'm using another packing recently that's made of seaweed. If that makes sense,
Big pass.
dude, it's weird. The whole thing's fucking.
Your
I have to
koozie
take.
gave you that?
I have to take a stick and stuff shit. What wicking and like cotton? It's gross.
yeah?
It's vile.
Do you feel like you have more energy now?
Oh, 100%.
Like it's
100%.
noticeable? Because Because honestly, you definitely do. Based on our last episode, you were probably like near death in the last one.
There's not like near death. I was dead.
Well, it'd be cool seeing like the episodes next to each other.
It's two different people.
And then next time you come in, you'll have a fucking 6-pack.
Let's relax.
You'll look like Hugh Jackman.
Let's really fucking let's slow right down.
So
This fucking guy.
lofty.
Lofty aspirations. Let's see if we can have some, I don't know, attainable goals.
Oh yeah, let's hear 2020. I mean, you must be much more goal oriented now, right? Like you must have like.
I've always been goal oriented. It's part of my.
Me too.
My hyperactivity. I segment things, so the day gets pushed into different like episodes in my fucking mind. So my biggest goal right now is to get back in the seat. Am I gonna stay there? I don't know, but it's what I know right now, and I need to have some income. I need to have the ability to earn. That's one of the most important things that any of us can ever do, is the ability to earn.
We kind of talked about it last time, and if we can't, let me know. But you did have the pilot you sent me. Are you allowed to talk about that, or?
All of that is still, being worked through. It's a constant evolution out west.
Well, dude, imagine what the show would be like now with the.
I pitched to my executive producer. I can't name drop. I can't tell you companies. I can't tell you anything like that. What I can tell you is that I have a producer that I work with and that I speak with often. And the long and short of it was, as I said to him, I said, here we have an opportunity to document my weight loss surgery. I thought that it was something that was interesting enough to people, because certainly there's enough people in the world that are diabetic. And to see, a normal, everyday guy go through this process, I thought was something that was, very marketable. And then to watch it evolve into this heart shit, I really feel like he fucking dropped the ball. But what are you going to do?
Well, I think it could be a blessing. I think if anyone is cut out for like a network TV show based on like skill set in terms of like entertainment, 100% be you. Like
this is the issue. See, you're a smart kid, and you're moving and shaking. I respect your hustle and what you're doing. Okay, but that being said, if you look at what's going on in non-scripted television right now, it's the same recycled horse shit over and over again. Do you realize if you look at fucking MTV right now, MTV, music television, they're running ridiculousness 24 fuck hours a day.
I really do love that show still.
I love the show too.
Love Rock
That's the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder that runs rampant through me. It's quick, but look at how many commercials are in that set. It's pounding you. Look at the Jersey Shores and the Florabamas of the fucking world.
Both also great shows.
Agreed. Okay? I still like dick and fart jokes, but it's not for everyone. There's a lot of recycling going on in Hollywood. There's nobody that's willing to put their prick in the mix and say, why don't we get this fat truck driver on here and let's shake some shit up. Let's do it a little bit differently. He doesn't have to say the F word every 4 seconds. But he knows it. You know what I mean? So the pilot that I showed you, the sizzle reel that I showed you, that was a very quick hit. That's what could be what we do. It doesn't have to be just that. You know what I mean?
Well, I like the storyline too, and I liked how you brought in other characters for it. But my thing is, like, I think you could really benefit from having a production team and then doing it independently for like a full season. Like have 8 episodes of like you just doing the thing.
Colin, huge money.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah.
My name is Conor.
I know so many Collins.
It's all good. You do. I should have said it before the episode.
I'll just call you dickhead.
Yeah.
Since you talk about my incestuous fucking place of residence, like it's your job. So anyway, it's super expensive. Production, I don't have to tell you. Production alone. Editing is the most long and arduous process of all of it. It's the most time consuming. It's also the most expensive.
C-Mac,
Yes, sir.
any questions? You got a haymaker?
Trying to think. I have one in terms of the trucking industry, but it's kind of off the beaten path.
Well, can I ask you something, C-Mac? Because you're someone who's been newly in tune with like reality and like finding your purpose, kind of.
Yeah.
What Andrew's saying about death, like it just being lights out, do you agree? Like, do you think that's the way it works?
I mean, I have no clue, and I'd be ignorant to say I do, but I'm intrigued because I was gonna ask about like how long that experience lasted, where you were conscious, but nobody else knew that you were around. Like,
well, as far as the time period in my head, it was like it happened several times, so it was on a loop. Mm-hmm. That was the part that was so frightening, is the fact that it felt like there was no end to it. So I couldn't decipher who was who and what was what, if it was real, if it was fake. So I was conscious enough to know that, but it was so fucking frightening to not know exactly what was happening. Am I awake? Am I asleep? Is this a dream? Is this just medication? Mm-hmm. I had no way of knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but as far as the time elapsed, it literally seemed like an eternity.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out exactly what was going on.
That's Wes
there,
Craven movie shit.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on in your brain at that point? Like,
Yeah.
what chemicals are firing? You know?
It's fentanyl and a bunch of other shit that they've killed you.
Yeah. But my thoughts on death, obviously, Conor, we talked about this a little bit. I mean, I just think we get one go at this, and then we don't know what happens next, but we might as well make this one go the best we can. So
Fair to say.
You feel that way?
That's it, baby.
Well, so one thing I've realized is the same thing with the Hang episode. Like, I'm like such a spoiled brat that, like, you know, I really work like my face off, and so like I'll be like, oh, like things aren't moving for me like I think they do. But like the fact I've never had a real deep tragedy to any of the people that are closest to me and a near death, like this is such a blessing.
Dude.
I can't even imagine people that go through this shit.
You what you just said is so huge. People that don't experience tragedy don't really have that concept of what loss is, you know? And loss can be so many different things. You can physically lose somebody. You can have somebody that deteriorates mentally so quickly. You know, there's all kinds of diseases, ALS, you know, Alzheimer's, stuff like that, where somebody is physically in front of you but not there. But as far as, you know, actually losing, it is so difficult, dude. My father lost his wife this past year, stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and it was so fast. She was here 1 minute and gone the next.
And that he's out his life.
Over.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. It just makes me like very grateful. Really, really grateful.
It will happen. And unfortunately, people that don't experience it, when they do, it's overwhelming, boy.
See, I've had a lot of people die in my life, but I mean just like a sudden tragedy, never. And so it's like I'm really grateful for it. And I think I don't want to have the mindset like, oh, someone could die tomorrow, but it's a reality.
It's the same thing as terrorism. You know, you don't think about it, you know, but when it does happen,
fuck.
You know,
turns your life upside down.
It can potentially, you know, and there's people that don't have any loss or experience anything like that, have a major loss in their life, and then they end up having major mental health issues. Schizophrenia, for example, is generally brought on by something traumatic. It was in this person their entire lives.
It was triggered.
Exactly. And now they're talking to people that don't exist.
I get it.
It's real.
So, a quick segue into more positive talk real quick, just because we got to end the episode 1. So, is the Apple Watch, is that new post-surgery?
It is not.
Okay.
I wish it was.
I just got one.
I don't even know how to use it, to be perfectly honest with you.
I got the Fitbit right now, but I did get an Apple Watch. I see the Nike swoosh on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a gift, and at some point I'm going to learn how to use it. You know, it's kind of a wasted gift because, as you can see, I don't really know how to operate it.
I wonder if...
And my son, who was supposed to set it up, got awfully frustrated during the process, and I feel like he neglected to do some shit because it really does nothing but show me the fucking time. Fucking asshole.
But you also look at it and you're like, damn, I know this thing's counting my steps. I gotta get it moving.
Big time. Big time. Honey's got a Fitbit thing that
That's what I got on.
She loves it.
It's great.
Loves it. It becomes a big part of our lives. You know, everything that we do is so electronically driven. It's wild. Mm-hmm. What the fuck did we do before we knew how many steps we took? I don't know.
We were eating ho-hos and
busting people's ass for stickers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So, one more question. When you were at do you feel like it shattered your ego in a way, the surgery? Like, because you were at, like, pretty much physically your lowest point. Does that happen? Or where does ego play into, like, actually rebuilding yourself? I'm sorry, I know this is totally out there. Like,
no, it's not out there. I mean, I don't feel like I have an ego.
Everyone does, though.
Obviously, but I don't feel like my ego is important to me. I'm not as cool as it is that I have the platform that I do. I don't think that I use it to its fullest extent. So, like a lot of people say, you have the ability to talk to 60,000 people. I don't think of it like that. I get messages from people, and I look at them, and I see their thumbnails, and I look at their profiles, and I'm like, these are my friends. These are my people. You know, so as far as ego is concerned, I don't look at myself any differently than I would say the common man, so to speak.
I think I phrased my question wrong. I mean, like, humans are like, they're aware of their power. When you get, like, everything stripped from you, like, what type of, do you lose all confidence? Does that happen?
I am never at a short for being confident.
Okay.
I'm a little bit egotistical, to be honest with you.
Dude, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
I love me some me.
Let's go.
I think I'm like the greatest thing going. So maybe that is ego.
That's big ego.
Whatever, dude. So, but I'm not like a flashy dude. I'm not like trying to show anybody up, you know, but I like my chances. I love me.
You're smooth.
I really do.
I think it's a great quality to have.
I think it's a gift and a curse. I think it can be very, very good and very positive. I think it can really fuck people up.
Yeah, I feel you. A little humility in there. Toss that in the mix.
Need it.
Put it in the blender.
Need it.
You know what you also put in the blender?
Yeah.
A ho-ho.
That's what's up.
But then it's more of a milkshake.
I'm more of a ring ding guy than a ho-ho, but yeah, we can get it.
So post-surgery, you still have some ring dings?
I'm not fucking up like cakes and shit, no.
So what did you eat today?
Today?
Yeah.
I had a protein shake for breakfast.
What was in that? Whey protein?
It's pre-made.
Are you drinking Boost? Don't tell me you're drinking Boost.
No, I'm not drinking fucking Boost.
Retirement home drink.
Listen, motherfucker. I've had a Boost or two in my life.
And you're wearing Velcro shoes.
Listen.
You're about to get punched.
I'm about to call him Colin again, motherfucker.
Whoa.
All right? Fucking Colin over here is a fresh prick.
Give him that right hook and don't miss.
No, it's the left that's dangerous.
No.
You don't even see it
Southpaw.
coming. Oh, I'm not a southpaw. No. But I can throw that left like it's nobody's business.
How many total fights do you think you've been in your life?
I don't want to get into it.
Really, that many?
A lot.
See, that's interesting. Like, I've probably been like 8. You've been in more than 8 fights?
Oh, my God, yeah.
What was the worst one?
As far as me getting my head kicked in?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, damage-wise.
I had my clavicle broken. I got hit in the head with a fucking shovel and should have been dead and never hit the ground.
That was before Iron Man?
Well before.
Whoa.
My 20s were the roaring 20s.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was a fucking meathead. 100%.
Hey, C-Mac, any last questions for a wrap? Is there
No.
anything else you want to say?
I really appreciate you in bringing me back for this. I enjoy.
Did I ask all the questions that?
I mean, this is your show. This is your format, and I think that what you do, for what it is, you are a very talented young man.
Thank you.
So I pay attention to all the stuff you do, and respect your hustle. I see what you do, and even if I call you Colin,
It's okay. You don't have to worry about calling me.
I don't give a fuck. Believe me, I'm not moved. So I just want to say that I respect what you do. And having a medium for me to tell people where I'm at right now, this was a really good opportunity because I haven't said much in the last couple of months as far as who's who and what's what. This was an amazing format for me to be able to say, this is what happened, this is how this transpired, and this is what we're doing moving forward. So I refer to my Trucker Nation as my people. These are my
the Trucker Bros and Trucker
these
Hoes.
are my Trucker Hoes and Trucker Bros. And I'm looking forward to getting this content out to them.
One last question. Do you now feel obligated to document the rest of the journey? I feel like, honestly, that might, if there's a higher power, he's probably telling me, like, yo, you got to share this story with everyone because it's a fucking roller coaster. This could help people.
The biggest thing, and I will say this until my fucking head falls off, the most important thing that people can do right now to protect themselves from heart disease and imminent fucking nightmares, strokes, and all this shit, stop smoking cigarettes. Tobacco, big tobacco, which is obviously run by this beautiful country we live in, was literally the reason that I was almost taken out. The fact that I combined cigarettes with diabetes and being a fat fuck, it literally almost took me out. So 10, 11, 12, however many dollars a pack of cigarettes is, and I've only been smoke-free since July. But if I can say that to anybody, and 2 people, 5 people, 20 people, 2,000 people say, fuck cigarettes, I really feel like I've done something.
Let's go.
So that's like, you found a purpose. That's fire. Let's go. All right, let's not ball our eyes out up here. We already had enough. Hey, I really enjoyed it. Thank you. Again. Give me a corporate. There we go.
Fresh.
Hey, C-Mac. Whenever you're ready, we can cut it.
No platinum hour.
Oh, right. Thank you. That's my fucking guy. Do you remember how to start and end? So you say, hi, your name, and this is my platinum hour. Then directly after no break, hi, your name, and that was. So it's this is and that was, and put your sauce on it. Post-surgery from the dead. Andy's back.
From the motherfucking dead. My name is the Boston Truckah. This is my platinum hour.
Bang.
My name is the Boston Truckah. That was my platinum hour.
Well executed.